Jujutsu Shenanigans just released 10 Shadows for free, and you probably want to know everything about the new character. Luckily, your boy Millz is here to explain all the differences and similarities between 10 Shadows and Jujutsu Kaisen's Megumi Fushiguro. Megumi is a main protagonist in JJK and is one of the best first years of Jujutsu High. This is because he was introduced to the Jujutsu world when he was just a wee lad after being adopted by Satoru Gojo. Gojo must have felt bad for adding his dad to the Donut Club. On top of that, Megumi has an extremely broken curse technique called the 10 Shadows. This curse technique allows the user to manipulate shadows as an intermediary, hence the name. This CT also comes with the ability to summon 10 different Shikigami, all with different strengths and weaknesses. This technique is actually inherited through Megumi's blood-related clan. Although his last name isn't Zenin, he is in fact a member of the Zenin clan because of this bump. Each of these summons require a specific hand seal to summon, therefore that occurs when you activate each move. When equipped, there are no visual changes to your avatar either through running, walking, or blocking. And I don't blame Z because there are no major physical traits to Megumi. In fact, he is made to be pretty bland compared to the rest. Now, let's talk about his moveset. The first move is Divine Dog Totality. This attack allows you to summon a huge wolf-like creature that will stay alongside you until you activate his attack by pressing the same number key. This will cause Totality to pounce on the prey and slash him up to 3 times before it is dispelled. How this works is when someone inherits the 10 Shadows technique, they receive 2 Divine Dogs. To get the other Shikigami, the user must summon them at any time and defeat them within the ritual. Also, you can still use other attacks while the dog is summoned, including your M1. This CT may seem weak, but after one Shikigami has died in battle, their memories and abilities will be passed down onto future Shikigami Megumi creates or exercises. The Divine Dogs have been shown to come in a white and black pair, but after the white one died, Megumi created Totality, which inherited the power of its fallen twin. Totality was first seen in his brief encounter with Hanami and was able to damage them, showing how powerful the Shikigami really is. The dog even has the same symbol on its head as the anime and will do a little dance if you emo. The finisher for this attack is a slash, but this time when the dog returns, it will have your opponent's head in its mouth. This is inspired by the countless times that the dogs have eaten the dead bodies of curses. Side note, since the Divine Dogs are the first Shikigami he got, I'm sure it must have been hard to lose one after all these years together. The next attack is Rabbit Escape. This allows you to summon a colony of rabbits that will swarm your opponent for a few seconds. This move is blockable, but after you summon, you are free to move and attack how you like. Megumi's 6th summon is called Rabbit Escape as well. It works exactly like the game and is mainly used to swarm an enemy to distract them or set up another attack. You can see here that their strength is in numbers due to them being individually weak. No finisher for this attack, and let's keep it that way, bruh. Following that is Nue. This electrifying bird is summoned in the sky and will fly over to the target to shock and swoop them off their feet. Just like most of the 10 Shadows attacks, this one is not very powerful but will cause the players to get ragdoll. Again, Megumi's Nue is the same but used way more effectively in Megumi's hand. It is probably his most summoned Shikigami besides the Divine Dogs and can help him fly or combo attacks like he used here. After finishing someone with this attack, you can see that their body is electrocuted to a crisp. This is taken from his battle with Chizuru Hari in the next Culling Games arc. Megumi uses Nue to electrocute Hari and slam him into the ground, leaving him burnt and incapacitated. Finally, we got Toad, a long-range attack that allows the user to pull the enemy in with the Toad's long tongue. This does no damage but will allow you to combo off of it or catch a runner. This is blockable but if used right can be very effective. Due to his intelligence and effective use of his CT, Megumi can merge multiple Shikigami into one. For example, he can use the Toads in combination with Nue to create a group of small Toads that can fly. This right here is the true power of the 10 Shadows and what established the Zenin clan as a notable family in the Jujutsu world. These new Toads will still use their tongues like the original, but now they will instead launch the opponent into the air. This again is blockable but can still be done even if your Nue is on cooldown. These frogs are called the Wells-known Abyss and were first used in his confrontation with Aotodo because bro didn't want to objectify women. No finisher for this attack. Since the 10 Shadows can allow the user to manipulate the shadows, including entering and storing items, this is what the special does in game. You can use this for movement or to store objects and release them at a later point. Skilled users in game can use these objects to extend their combos from the ragdoll effect. I still think this is the worst special of them all and may need to be added on in the future. By adding weapons or more throwables, it can make his shadow more of a weapon storage / movement tool. Next up is the Awakening, which is titled Insanity. This is a callback to Megumi's first time using his domain expansion. Megumi finally reached his breaking point, which led him to be able to use his domain. Although incomplete, the domain floods the area with fluid shadows that can rapidly produce any Shikigami Megumi desires. Due to it being incomplete, he loses the one broken thing about domains being the sure hit effect, but at least the 10 Shadows technique is improved by 110% of its potential. This can allow Megumi to produce clones of himself from the shadows as well as other Shikigami. Since Megumi is unable to produce a barrier around the domain, it must overlap an indoor space to forcibly enclose his domain and trap his target inside. These reasons are why I think Z didn't bother adding his domain to the game, and I think it makes sense. When entering the awakening, you are prompted with this text, and it is taken right from Megumi's dialogue in the finger bearer fight. The first move of the awakening is called Max Elephant. This attack summons a humongous elephant from the sky, which is dropped straight down onto your target. Megumi's fifth Shikigami with the same name is an elephant Shikigami that can spew large volumes of water from its trunk or crush its master's target with its ginormous weight. The reason why he can't just spam this attack is because his curse energy cost is way too high. Megumi has used this attack in his fight with Noritoshi Kamo and Reggie, but the finisher is actually taken from his fight with Jiro Owasuka. The finisher can be described with these Doja Cat lyrics.
I don't care, I paint the town red.
Secondly is Great Serpent. This versatile attack allows you to summon and control a large snake that will bite down on your opponents, going through buildings like a hot knife through butter. After a few seconds, you will let go of the target and deal stun and a poison effect. However, the poison doesn't deal much damage. Megumi's fourth Shikigami can quickly attack and ensnare its master's targets. It appears suddenly from the shadows to immobilize the target within its mouth, making for an effective surprise attack. The Great Serpent's size allows it to overpower large curses and can also be used to keep its target in place while other Shikigami attack. This most likely comes from Megumi's encounter with Sukuna, where he used the Great Serpent to hold him in the air, where he then comboed him with Nue. Hopefully Z can add new variants to Ten Shadows due to how integral that is to the curse technique. There's currently no finisher, but I don't think it needs one. Thirdly is Shadow Swarm, which allows the user to spawn in 2 clones from the shadows, and alongside yourself, you charge at the target where you then do a combo, finishing off by swatting them away like a fly. This is exactly what Megumi did to Reggie Star. After using a gymnasium to create his domain, he then summoned 2 clones who attacked and held Reggie down, where Megumi then slashed him. There is currently no use for your special with your awakened moves, but you can do something cool with this one. By using a Shadow Swarm into the outside of a barrier, you can break inside. Not only that, you can actually create a portal that people, including the domain caster, can go in and out of. This is a callback to Megumi's moment in Shibuya, where he breaks into Dagon's domain in order to cancel his sure hit effect and help his fellow sorcerers escape. The reason as to why you cannot do anything during this period is because Megumi had to concentrate to puncture the hole inside the domain. The reason why others can come inside after you is because that's exactly what Toji did when Megumi opened it. Currently no finisher for this move because Megumi has only used it once. Finally is the one who you've all been waiting for. 8-handled sword Divergent Sila Divine General Maharaga. This attack allows you to start a ritual cutscene and then summon Maharaga. To get this cutscene, you must be near a target and get 3 uninterrupted heartbeats. Then finally you will trade your life to become Maharaga. This ritual cutscene is exactly how it looks when Megumi summons him. As Maharaga, you now need to deal damage in order to keep the ritual bar up or you will die. Obviously, Maharaga is the 10th Shikigami in the Ten Shadows technique, but this scenario comes from his summoning in Shibuya. With no options left, Megumi decides to use his last resort and summons Maharaga, therefore starting the exorcism ritual. Remember how I said Megumi must exercise his Shikigami in order to control them? Well, no one in history has ever tamed Maharaga. Following being summoned, he is immediately one-shotted and killed, but this weirdo saves him, and Big Raga doesn't like that. These cutscenes are almost identical, so big W to the JJS team. Now, there are canon things about JJS's Maharaga and JJK's Maharaga, but to be honest, I wasn't able to find any similarities of most of the moveset to the anime or manga. I checked his fight with Sukuna and even his jumpage on Gojo, but I couldn't find anything. I even asked the Mafia where they come from, and you guys were stumped as well. So if you know, please comment down below. Either way, let's still go over the moveset. Maharaga's first move is titled Divine Pummel, which is a grab move that slams your opponent 3 times before sending them away. This move can block break and also allows you to move as you smash them, overall looking like Hulk versus Loki. No finisher for this attack. Next up is Ground Pinch, which is a long-range projectile that allows you to pick up a chunk of the ground and hurl it towards your opponent. You can now pick up enemies with this attack, and it will do the regular finisher once it collides with something. This move actually has a special variant of it, but we don't know how to activate it or if it's just RNG. Doing this will give you a different pickup animation, and you will then fling them across the map. Then we got Earthquake. This ground smash attack allows you to pummel your opponents into the ground, and after holding the attack, you can release it to cause this earthquake-like effect, which will ragdoll all players within the area. This attack seems to do a lot of damage, but it can be countered with Manji Kick. No finisher. Finally is Maharaga's fourth attack, which is just straight heat, fam. Depending on what mode you're in, you will get a different fourth move. In attack mode, you get Takedown, which is a speed blitz attack that sends your enemy flying away. In special mode, you get World Slash, which as the name implies is just like Vessel's secret ability called World Cutting Slash. Manga spoilers ahead, so please skip to this timestamp if you do not want to be spoiled. This makes sense canonically because Maharaga was Sukuna's ace the entire fight against Gojo. Without Maharaga's adaptation to Gojo's curse technique, he would have never been able to surpass infinity and cut Gojo between space, existence, and the world itself. Another reason why this is a good addition to Maharaga's moveset is because Maharaga was the first person to use the slash in the series when he landed on Gojo's arm, which confirmed Sukuna's victory. Yes, baby Kuna needed to be saved by Daddy Maharaga in order to beat the GOAT himself, bruh. Some smaller details are that this slash has much longer range than Vessel's, as well as it being diagonal instead of straight. This slash does not need incantations, but it does have a short startup that can be interrupted. Finisher is the same as Vessel's WCS. Lastly, in defense mode, you will get this adaptation move. This move can be activated before getting hit with something, and after the wheel spins, you will now take less damage from all types of those attacks. For example, bullet damage, special damage, and even melee damage. If someone is really cracked with Maharaga, then they would be able to get the maximum defense of negative 70% and heal faster than the damage they are receiving. This obviously is based on Maharaga's main gimmick of adaptability and keeps the game true to the series yet balanced while playing. I don't think that you can adapt to multiple types of attacks at once due to the defense boost resetting to negative 10% when you adapt to any different type of attack. So now it's time to ask the question, how similar is Ten Shadows to Megumi Fushiguro? When it comes to Jujutsu Shenanigans, I don't think any other characters come as close to their anime counterparts as Ten Shadows does. You get the same Shikigami Megumi does, they act the same, they look the same, and you can even combo with them just like he does. The special being an ability Megumi actually uses all the time, unlike Vessel's feints, is also amazing. Then adding Maharaga as a whole character itself is just the icing on the cake, giving Ten Shadows a similarity rating of an A+ to Jujutsu Kaisen. Well, I made a video just like this one about all the other characters in the game, so click right here to go watch those. Millz Mafia out. Yeah. Oh, I'm up here. Let's go. Yeah.